Utilize these 2 days, utilize these days, go forward, talk to people. 2 years back, he was seated amongst you. Last year, he was amongst us. And this year, he was there in the podium. Next year, നിങ്ങൾ ആരെങ്കിലും ആയിരിക്കും ആ പോഡിയത്തിൽ ഉണ്ടാവുക? ആയിരിക്കും, ആര് വേണമെങ്കിൽ ആവാം. പക്ഷേ ഫോർ ദാറ്റ് എല്ലാവർക്കും ഒരു കണക്ഷൻ ഉണ്ടാക്കാൻ പറ്റിയൊരു സ്പോട്ടാണ് നമ്മുടെ കോൺഫറൻസ്, ഓൺകോർ പോലത്തെ പരിപാടികൾ. മേക്ക് ഷുവർ എസ്കേപ്പ് ചെയ്ത് പോകാനല്ല, ബി ഹിയർ, ബി ലൈവ്, മേക്ക് ഷുവർ യു മേക്ക് കണക്ഷൻസ്. അത് മാത്രമേ പറയാനുള്ളൂ. മേക്ക് ഷുവർ യു മേക്ക് കണക്ഷൻസ്. ഇന്ന് ഇവിടുന്ന് വൈകുന്നേരം പോകുന്നതിന് മുന്നേ എൻഷുവർ ദാറ്റ് യു ഹാവ് എ ന്യൂ ഫ്രണ്ട്, യു ഹാവ് എ ന്യൂ പേഴ്സൺ ഇൻ യുവർ ലൈഫ്.
Good afternoon all. Everyone had a good lunch? I can feel it. So friends, we are here to announce the winners of the first technical session, technology. Actually, it was a very difficult discussion for us to whom to give the first prize. I was asking with the Rupesh sir also whether we can give the prize to everyone, because everyone give a good presentation, equally good presentation, but unfortunately all the three requires a good round of applause. They get a good, great work, good research paper, good presentation skills and everything, but unfortunately we can give the prize to only one. But I still request, if you possible, give to three. So we are announcing the thing. We are going with Aditi Devo Bhava. The first prize go to Alankriti Singha. We are giving congrats Alankriti.
Ms. Alakriti Sigatia is the winner of the first technical session of our mega conference for CA students, EKATVA.
Today, we gather here not only to enhance our technical knowledge, but also to ignite the fire within, to instill the unwavering determination, and to unlock the extraordinary potential that lies within each and every one of us, and to make sure all of us achieve the dreams we have envisioned for ourselves and our bright futures. We request CA Rupesh Rajagopal, Chairman of Ernakulam branch of SICASA of ICAI, to escort our esteemed speaker, CA Lijal Lakshman, to the dais. We have with us today CA Lijal Lakshman, a passionate speaker, ex-banker and a practicing chartered accountant with more than 10 years of teaching experience. He has been seen as a speaker in more than 20 national conferences and has addressed more than 30,000 students all over India. He is a certified associate from the Indian Institute of Banking and has secured an All India first rank in finance and accounting. He holds a certified degree in CFA Level 1 from CFAI US and is a holder of BCom Accounts and Finance from Indira Gandhi National Open University, Delhi. He was also twice co-opted to various committees of SIRC of ICAI. Fellow CA students, I urge you all to open your minds, ignite your spirits, and embrace the opportunity to unleash the extraordinary within you. Get ready to be motivated, inspired, and empowered. A huge round of applause and a warm welcome to CA Lijal Lakshman.
Okay, good afternoon. What should I say about Lijal? Yeah, one of the most energetic speakers that you can find, lively, energetic. Every time I meet him, I carry back a lot of energy with me. Fantastic, one of the fantastic teachers that I've seen, a brilliant chartered accountant. And Lijal, I think I shouldn't say much. Over to you.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, Anla. Good afternoon, everyone. Perfect, that's energy. Okay, so Rupesh sir has given a lot of introduction, but I'm going to do the opposite. I'm not here to give you a lot of energy, but I'm going to give you a reality check. I wanted to give you a reality check on what's happening around us. What is that we have to do? And what is that is expected out of each one of us. Okay, so we have these conferences that's happening, every year. And, a lot of sessions are there where and I'll go ahead and then talk about, what are the thought process that we all should have? What are the things that we should do to be successful? And I'll give you bullet points. And it's like a battery that is being recharged in our phone. I mean, we hear a lot of things. Even I do. Like, we have so much of information available on a daily basis. So I see a lot of, motivational talks on YouTube here and there. But what happens is that we hear all of that. And then, like any other battery, on our, phones, at the end of the day, it's all drained out. We go back to our normal routine. We are not changing anything and we're just the same person. So let's look at what is that we have to think as a student or think as a human being. And let's try to get some reality check over the next 30 minutes. Okay. So the whole idea is that I wanted to, there are 2 points that was, given to me to address. One is exam success and lifelong learning. Okay, it's 2 different things altogether. But I just wanted to start by telling all of you that at times we make this big mistake of addressing all of you together. I mean, none of our journeys are the same. Each one of us have separate journeys. Each one of us separate moments, things, and situations that will give us energy. So please let us ensure that we start with this point that each of us are different, each of our journeys are different, and the way that we should instill points to ourselves is different. And there is so much of talk that is happening across now. If you open up, especially LinkedIn, and then you look people, their tag names, like the one that has been announced for me as well. We talk about a lot about being a chartered accountant early. We are all talking about, okay, being a chartered accountant at 21. That's across every, hoardings that we have today. But let me iterate that particular point once again. Life is not just about being a chartered accountant by 21. It's beyond that. And I'll tell you the point. All that we have to look at is to become the best version of us. Every day that we spend, we'll all look at how can we better at everything that we do. So you look at what is the mindset that we need to have for this particular reason. See, we all have multiple goals, multiple things that will give us happiness. And let me tell you this particular point. There is nobody who will be sitting here who would not want to grow their life to a better position. We all want change. We all want change for a better reason. And let me tell you, the course that you have taken in, it's a transformative course. There is no doubt about it. Whether you reach there at 21 or 22 or at whatever age that you wanted to reach, again, it's a journey of you. But this course is going to transform you. And I'm pretty sure all of you would have already seen the results. What you were, like say, when you were doing your schooling, when you were doing your 12th, or when you had other peers who were not pursue the dream of becoming a chartered accountant, and you analyze where you're standing today, and you would see that there's already been changes. You already started looking like a different person. You started thinking like a different person. You started dressing up like a different person altogether. And then suddenly you feel like, okay, now I am in the path of becoming a better version of me. And that's all matters, end of the day. Now, I wanted to tell you that to get to the best part of your CA journey, let's address the CA journey first, and let's go ahead and address the life beyond that. And to address the CA journey first, I wanted to talk about 3 different points. One, I have already told you, it's the thought process. What is that we all want? On a daily basis, we wanted to become better version of us. We've established that particular point. The second one I want to talk about would be, how do you excel in your studies? Okay. Of course, there is one thin line that we draw in terms of becoming a better version. It's just that, we need to take some action, and you need to have the studies going on, and you need to become somebody who can add that two prefix. And the life beyond that is quite different and quite exciting. I wanted to also talk about articleship, and I will talk about that in a different perspective. I said I want to give you a reality check. And I first want to talk about the thought process once again. And I consider myself to be very lucky because I heard something, and I read something today, which I think I should share with all of you. And I came across this particular talk on internet, and it gave me some good thoughts. And I said, okay, today I'm going to share this with all of them I'm speaking to. And in that particular quote, it's basically a quote or a statement, and it was saying like this: to achieve the reality that we wanted to achieve, we should be ready to do the exact opposite of the same. And I said, okay, what kind of quote is this? And I started thinking, this is brilliant. That's what is happening with all of you. What is that we all want as a reality? What is that you all want as a reality? You want a good life. Okay, you want a financial security. You want independence. You want recognition. To get that, you should be getting the total opposite of it, which is struggle, which is stress. You're going through the same today. And you're thinking that, hey, where is this success that is there in my life? But you need to be ready to do the exact opposite of what you want to live later. You want a good physique, you want it to be very healthy. What is it you have to do? You have to do today workout, which is going to make you feel weak. You're going to struggle. But you want a better reality tomorrow. You want it to be financially, independent. You want it to be secure. And what is that you have to do? You have to save a lot of money, which is, again, not allowing you to spend a lot of money, which is total opposite of being rich. But it is for the future. You wanted to be successful in your examination. You wanted to be a chartered accountant. What is that you have to do today? Total opposite of it, which is struggle. Keeping all your, time and efforts into putting into studies and then struggling, putting a lot of stress so that you can have that peaceful life ahead of you. So have that particular thought process. Be ready to embrace that. Okay, today whatever efforts that I'm taking in, I will do it because tomorrow I wanted to have that reality in my life. That's the thought process that we all need to have. Okay, so let's look at, I told you at the beginning itself that CA is a transformative journey. And I still believe it's a, transformative journey even after you qualify. For me today, it is still a transformative journey. And I think you would find a lot of differentiation into people who are not pursuing CA and somebody who's pursuing CA in terms of their mindset itself. And we talk about failures. Okay, you talk about failures, we talk about attempts and, saying that, okay, CA is not for everybody, CA is not a course that we should pursue because the results are not working for me and all that. And we have places wherein we go ahead and then hit that pass mark by 1-2 marks, and then you come back and then you are not able to get back to your routine because your results are not working for you. And then you again prepare and then go back to that examination. You give it again. And then again, you're not getting the results that you wanted to. You go back to your books, you study, and then you go back again. Going back again is the attitude of grit. And if you analyze, and there are so many studies that is being done, and then ask that particular question, what is that one quality that is consistent in everybody who's successful? They said it's not intellect. It is not intellect. It is not smart work. It is not smart work. It is not just communication. It is not. But it is the ability of not giving up when you're down. And that's what CA is teaching all of us. That they will push you to the level wherein you feel like everything is going to collapse. I'm going to be a failure the next day. And then you go back again and then you try to give that particular efforts again without any hesitation. And you think, will anybody who's a CA student would stop what they are doing just because they had a failure and a setback? The answer is no. Because they know that going back there, showing up their face is the face of a chartered accountant. And that's what we're going to learn. And I'm telling you, even after qualifying, and this year I'll be like 10 years after my qualification. I qualified in 2014. So 10 years down the line, when I look at the same thing, and I see that every day of my life I have setbacks. Might not be the same setbacks of not clearing an examination, but the setbacks of probably a client leaving the work, or some deadlines that I'm not able to finish, or some kind of an effort that I have taken not fulfilling to the existing results that I wanted. But I don't stop, because that's what CA has taught me. And that's what CA is all about. It's a live school that teaches you everything about hard work, perseverance, and grit. Now I told you that I'm going to give you a reality check. And I told you that I'm 10 years down the line, thinking here. And I wish somebody had told me all of this by the time I was going through chartered accountancy. First of all, we talk a lot about clearing out in first attempt. Definitely, it is going to give you an advantage at the starting point. But on the long run, it is not going to matter. It is not. That does not mean that I don't want to give all the efforts into writing the examination and clearing on the first attempt. We all know that first attempt is the best attempt in terms of our confidence. But do not punish yourself. And I've seen that with a lot of people, that they think that 6 months lost is lost their life. No, it is not. On the long run, nobody is going to do it. If some chartered accountant comes across to each other, we don't do this. Wherein like, okay, so which year did you qualify? 2014. Okay, which year did you qualify? I've qualified on 2018. How many attempts did you? Nobody asks that question. Okay, please understand that wherever you're standing today, that situation is in the past. Maybe a course of action that you had in the past. And we all have to take that particular moment that your future is not going to be defined. Your starting point might be impacted. Okay, maybe somebody's going to hire you immediately because you have qualified on the first attempt. But on the longer run, what you start from today in another 10 years is going to be all that is going to matter. The second thing, communication skills are everything. We tell CA students that, okay, you study really, really, really hard and you're going to achieve everything. No. You need to ensure that there is a holistic growth in it. Okay. You need to attend these conferences. I want to congratulate all of you for taking that effort. You could have already said somebody that, okay, I might go out, I would just be there on one session, I'll just run off. But you have made that choice to attend it here. You know that having exposure to something like this might be beneficial for you. And however small or big is the effort to be here, you have taken that. And you will understand in another, 10 year down the line or 5 year down the line that, okay, maybe communication is something that I have to do. And I want all of you to do this. Today you be as an attendee. Okay, you be there as an attendee. Tomorrow you try to write a paper and then be a speaker. And I can tell from my journey. I had become before, and now I'm a faculty and I do a lot of talk, and zero problem with the microphone, zero problem with addressing all of you, and I'll do it with confidence. And all this has been a result of the conferences that I've attended. I'd been an attendee, I'd been a paper presenter, I've been part of Students Association. Now I've been part of, SARC for some reasons. And all of this has come up with that effort I have taken, wherein I thought, okay, maybe let me push myself and then try to get that one step ahead and then get that communication skills in order. Not just that, you hold a microphone and then speak to the audience of hundreds and thousands. It's about you stand up and then have a conversation with your partner, your colleague, your client. That is communication. And you need to work on it. And I still remember one of those interviews that I was a part of, wherein I was attending an interview wherein one very famous personality was giving a talk, and then one student got up and then answered, one student got up and then asked a question in Malayalam, and I felt it's completely normal. Like, we are in Kerala, why would somebody ask a question in English? But this particular gentleman who's been having conversation in English for a while and pushed that particular person and said, why don't you ask this particular question in English? Then the student took it upon and said, sir, my English is not good. Then I still remember what that particular person said. It said, it takes 3 months of an effort to better your English. And that person said, I promise that I'll take your question in Malayalam, I'm going to answer in Malayalam, but promise me that you will put the next 3 months of efforts to get your English in order. Because that's a language that is going to take you global. Tomorrow when you wanted to, see, I love Malayalam, okay? I love Malayalam, I love my language, but this is something that you will have to get in order and it takes 3 months in effort. Third one is my favorite. Collaboration is better than competition. We've been told from our schools to compete with everyone. Okay, see, that uncle's son or daughter is coming first. I want you to top that person. Isn't that the way that our parents teach us when we are in schools? Yes. They question us when we come second. We should go back and then tell them, no, it's not about just competition. Especially when you are in chartered accountancy, wherein we have zero competition. We don't have a ranking system wherein ICA decides that, okay, I will take out 50,000 people and then qualify. So rest everything compete with these 50,000 people. No, we don't have. So by far, CA is the least competitive examination that you would take up because everybody who scores beyond that passing marks will clear this examination. But we still consider everything is competition. When as a chartered accountant, when we meet our colleague, we'll look at it, okay, is he going to take out my client? No, find collaboration with everyone. And I'm absolutely loving that the fact that the anchor was telling earlier that you might find in these kind of conferences a person who might be useful for you 10 years down the line when you become a chartered accountant. You might go and then ask them, okay, I have a client wherein I'm specialized in my audit and I have a question that is there in income taxes. Can you answer? You are an expert in income taxes. Find collaboration with everyone. Everybody is going to be an expert in something 10 years down the line. Find that. So do not look at everybody as competition, look at everybody as collaboration and then try to be successful together. If you have 5 friends, 10 friends, 2 friends, whatever may be the count that you have in your circle, go and tell everybody that, okay, guys, let's plan to clear this examination. Let's crack this examination together. What's that we want to do? Find energy in collaboration. Now, I wanted to give you another reality check. A lot of times that I've seen people saying about groups. I need to write both groups together. We all know that if you're writing both groups together, that's brilliant. You get to clear the examination earlier. But I also wanted to tell you that ICA allows you to write group-wise. And I've seen it with, because considering that last 10 years of my journey as a tutor has taught me that a lot of students look at ICA examination as if a punishment that I have to write both groups together. But if you think that your attempt group-wise is better, ICA allows you to do that. Think over it. Now, let's understand that articleship that you are all in. I think most of you must be already going through an articleship. And I wanted to put it a phrase like articleship is the best cruise ship that you can take. Make the best use of your articleship period. We'll come to that a little more in detail. But I wanted to give you a story before that. Okay, this is my favorite story, and I've told you it in multiple venues at multiple people, because still it is my favorite story. I don't know whether you have seen this particular photograph somewhere. It's been used as a metaphor in multiple platforms. It is photo of, what is it you can see there on the screen on the picture? Are you seeing a river somewhere? And are you seeing a bridge also? What is the problem with the bridge in comparison with the river that you can see? It is not there crossing the river. So this bridge is called as Bridge to Nowhere. This is there in Honduras. Okay, so its bridge is called as Choluteca Bridge. And this bridge would give us a lot of learning. The people in Honduras fight for 10 years to build this particular bridge. And I'll tell you what is their objective was. They said, we wanted to have world's strongest bridge. Like we all wanted to do, we wanted to create the world's strongest abilities in us. And they created world's strongest bridge by constructing it for 10 years. And people started writing articles about it. Okay, Choluteca Bridge is like non-collapsible. It's the best bridge in the world. 2 years later, after the inauguration of this bridge, a hurricane hit the entire Honduras, and the river started flowing in a different direction in a different place. Do I still have those strongest bridge there? Yes. For what reason? For no reason. Please understand, my friends, do not become a Choluteca bridge. Be relevant. Be relevant today so that you will become relevant tomorrow, and then you will not become a Choluteca bridge, which will take you nowhere. We talk about having lifelong learning. We talk about having lots of changes in our profession. Lots of changes. And the biggest discussion today, I think there is no conference. I'm pretty sure Rupesh sir would have planned in this conference also, we're going to use this word called as AI. Right? Every conferences that we have today will be having a conversation on artificial intelligence. And there are two types of conversation that's going ahead with artificial intelligence. The first question that goes around with our chartered accountancy fraternities, that is AI, automation, technological advancement, are they going to take out the jobs of chartered accountants? And I'm surprised. What are we preparing our fraternity for? Are we preparing our fraternity to be a Choluteca bridge wherein we are not relevant? It should not be the method in which we should approach technology. And I wanted to stress on this point that please ensure that you spare some time in understanding technology so that you stay relevant. The way that a lot of us approach technology is like a black box approach. Like, I don't want to get into technology. If I like the technology, why would I become a chartered accountant? No. Technology has become like language. It has become like language, which also means that it is not about learning how technology works. It is about making the use of technology. Like, say, for example, when we had lights, today we're doing a lot of things. We have light bulbs here. You don't have to know the science behind how the light works to get the benefit of lighting. So always approach technology so that you can start using technology. Don't have a closed down approach on it. Because like language, so you don't have to be, you don't have to be a poet. You don't have to be a poet to learn language. Like, say, for example, as long as you're able to communicate in language, you should be considered an expert in language. You think like this. Say English, for example, today. I cannot say that English is something that can only be used by people who are in literature. No, English is something that all of us use. Technology is going to be like that. That you cannot stay out of it. But you don't have to be a Shakespeare, but you have to be somebody who can use the best benefit out of it. And technology is going to impact all of us. And this latest technology like AI, automation, all of these are going to be very impactful in all of your lives. And do not have this closed down approach. And I'll also tell you, another way of looking at it. Okay, I'll tell you with an example, and this is in Malayalam, and I'm sorry for those people who does not understand this. See, പണ്ട് രാജാക്കന്മാരെ കൊണ്ടുപോകാൻ വേണ്ടിയിട്ട് ട്രാൻസ്പോർട്ടേഷന് യൂസ് ചെയ്തുകൊണ്ടിരുന്നത് പല്ലക്കായിരുന്നു. ഓക്കെ, ഐ എം പ്രെറ്റി ഷുവർ ലൈക്ക് നമ്മളെല്ലാം ഇത് സിനിമയിലൊക്കെ കണ്ടിട്ടുണ്ട്. അപ്പോൾ പല്ലക്ക് മാറി കാറ് കണ്ടുപിടിച്ച സമയത്ത് പല്ലക്ക് കൊണ്ടുപോയിരിക്കുന്ന ആൾക്കാരുണ്ടല്ലോ, ഇവരെല്ലാവരും കൂടെ സമരം ചെയ്യാം. എന്താ, എൻ്റെ ജോലി പോകുമെന്ന് പറഞ്ഞിട്ട്. അതാണോ ചെയ്യേണ്ടത്? അല്ല, ഗോ ആൻഡ് ലേൺ ഡ്രൈവിംഗ്. That's what we should do, right? Just be the driver of that particular car. Just ensure that you get there, wherein you be on the driving seat of technology. Okay, please ensure that in your life. And I wanted to tell you this life learning, and I think we all should look at it. Ensure that CA does not change you to the bad. Okay, there's so much of changes that can happen all of a sudden to you, and you can be dull because you're taking this course to your head. No. CA is just a course. End of the day, you have so many things that you will have to ensure that you keep doing. Okay, you need to ensure that you have a healthy lifestyle. You don't want to fall sick, because a CA without health is CA for no reason. Okay, so you cannot make best use of your abilities. So ensure that you time everything. Have community, have friends. You cannot say that I'm so, so there is so much of talk that happens about this also. And in Malayalam, we have this word also, like we call padipi, right? Bujji. There's so much of words that we have created to separate people who will read. Okay, so say that, okay, I'm that, I'm also this. I can communicate, I can have friends, I can have good lifestyle, I'll also be a chartered accountant. Okay, so ensure that basically you're not just, don't be a boring CA. Be a CA who's also a very interesting person. And now let's talk about the stress management. Okay, this is something that is going to take a toll on all of you. Okay, it's not going to be leaving anybody ahead. So you should know what is stress management. Again, look at the word as management. Nobody say that zero stress is good. There is so much of problem with having no stress, like having too much of stress. Both ways, you will not be committed to your goal. So we call this particular wordings as, there is something called as useful stress, and there is something called as distress. Always understand what level of stress you have. You should be serious enough with this particular course so that you can take that particular moment and reinvent your life. And you rate yourself, okay, how much stressed are we? Am I stressed enough to study? Yes. Am I stressed enough so that I won't be able to study? Stop there. Okay. Ensure that you stay stressed, but not too much stressed, because it's going to eat up a lot of your happiness from your life. And there's this beautiful thing that MS Dhoni says, that how to be having stress management, and it's all about focus on the process, leave out the results. Okay, it's very easy for him to say, right? Okay, so it's not very easy for us to implement in reality. It's very stressful to go through with so much of expectation. And please understand that that reality it's not going to go anywhere. We all will have to face it. This is going to be like going for that particular examination is going to be stressful. Finishing the work on the deadline is going to be stressful. But how can I manage that stress? How can I not take everything personally? Take each part of your life, including work and studies, into bits and pieces and analyze. Okay, so you went to your office and you finished your work and then it did not work well for you. And your principal or your manager is coming and then shouting at you. Understand that they have no problem with you personally. It is the work that is making them do that. You did not clear in an examination. Understand that it has nothing for you to personally beat you up. It's just that your preparation wasn't enough. The way that you prepared was not enough. The way that you approached your examination, the answers that you wrote was not at the best of your efforts. So try to analyze everything in your life and ensure that you keep the useful stress in your life and then leave the distress. And this is my advice to all of you if you are into articleship. Now, take articleship one notch ahead. Now, we all know that we are there, for learning and everything. Please do not take your articleship as a 2-year period or 3-year period that you just have to count and then finish. And I'm telling you from my experiences of being a principal and being an article, both sides, that you would find two type of people in your, journey. And as a person, I have seen it, and I think my seniors here would appreciate what I'm saying. You will find people who will transform their life with articleship. There are people who will count and then finish it off and then leave. Be the one who transform your life. Ensure that you take a little extra efforts and you see how different your approach towards work is going to be. And we all wanted to have that particular learning. Ensure that you have enough conversation with your seniors. Okay. Do not, I know that not every environment would be great. Okay. But ensure that you have that extra efforts. Like say for example, I used to work in an industry before I started my practice. And I used to, some days I used to sit little conversation with my boss. Okay. And once he's done with his work, he's free. And then I believe that whatever ethics or whatever ideas that I've got in my mind or whatever thought process that I've had in my mind since I left my banking career, all that was created not by the 9 to 5 I spent there, but by the 30 minutes of conversation I had with them. So ensure that you learn not just technically, but also professionally, also personally as a person, how they're carrying themselves, what are their thought process. Because life lessons are learned only in that way. And they're going to do it. They're going to be a different person when you start asking questions. Now let's move a bit and then try to understand what is the next step after you become a chartered accountant. Your lifelong learning. Okay. Now ensure that your first job that you take up is a thoughtful decision. Like if there are somebody who is doing their intermediate and then planning to take up the internship, same way, have enough research. Because your industry that you chosen and the career that you chosen, okay, especially if you're in industry and then you're planning to build a career, it is going to be a lifelong career that you're trying to build. Your career is like 35, 40 years. And it's not very easy to move from one industry to another industry quite easily. So if you're confused, it's not necessary that, everybody would know what they want to do on day one. And we talk about like follow your passion. I'm like, okay, I understand, follow your passion. What's my passion? I don't know that yet. And most of us would be in that spot. Okay. And they say, follow your passion. Hey, I'm passionate about 10 things. What will I do now? Just get enough exposure. Do not settle down unless you know what you want to do. And please keep in your mind that you might want to change your passion in every 2-3 years down the line. It can happen. So don't hesitate to change. Just ensure that you are brave enough to change your realities and then change whatever is not working for you. Be brave there. You have so many options. Do not just get stuck into one. Like as a chartered accountant today, there are so many options that is coming across to you. You could be in employment, you could build a career in that. Okay, somebody was talking about being a CEO. Or you can start your practice, or you can do freelance. We are coming into an altogether industry wherein the popular Instagram influencers who are chartered accountants who makes more money than the one who is doing practice or employment. So you will have more opportunities coming in. A lot of different kind of opportunities will come in. Explore everything. Do not get stuck into, okay, this is the road that I have to take because me or any senior has taken only that road. We might not be having the vision and you might have. And ensure that your decisions are not always on the terms of money. Look at long term. But money is definitely important. There's no doubt on that. The reason why I said long term is that, okay, this is another quote that I really loved. Said most people overestimate what they can do in 1 year and underestimate what they can do in 10 years. And this is the reality. We think that in 6 months I have to be the best version of myself. You've been the same for the last 20 years, 21 years. And you think that the next moment, after attending this one session, you will become like a very different person tomorrow. You will get up and you can't do that. Please understand. You cannot make a goal, and this is very common in our head that, okay, we all want immediate results. Okay, we want immediate gratification. Then only we'll be like feeling happy. And we all do this. And I personally have done this. I had always had overestimated myself for the next 1 day, next 2 days, next 6 months, and I underestimated myself what I can do next 10 years. Please don't make that mistake because you don't have time to do all the mistakes and then learn from others' mistakes. Ensure that you think long term, okay? Just have a plan which is way beyond extraordinary that you never thought you could be able to do. Keep that kind of a goal, but not for 6 months, not for 1 year. Keep it for 10 years. Say that, okay, I want to do this. But be smart there. Have the direction. You go in the same direction. You cannot say that I'll become a prime minister and then start working in an organization, right? So it's just that have an extraordinary goal and then start thinking long term. Just take a long term shot at your life. Because that's enough. 10 years down the line, if you're going slow also, if you're doing great, no questions asked on that. And My dear Instagram generation, including me, okay. This is bad. We cannot do everything. We just have 24 hours. We need to keep our priorities straight. FOMO is really bad. And I'm somebody who, struggle with it. And I'm pretty sure that all of you, I'm not saying 99.9, and also all of you have the same problem. You wanted to do that, this, you still wanted to do 10 different things, and you just have 24 hours in front of you. Prioritize. Timing is everything. Ensure that you start your day and then you have an idea, what's my priority for today? Do not overstress. FOMO is going to be very bad on the long run. And if you think that, okay, you can do 100 things, you can do that, but plan yourself. Understand that, okay, if I'm doing 10 things in a day, this is the standard in which I can do. I'm not saying that focusing on only one thing is the way to solve this. It is not. Prioritizing is the way to solve it. Having a long-term vision is the way to solve it. And I wanted to read this for all of you, and I think it's going to resonate with all of us. And I'm going to read it. Everyone in this world works based on their time zone. People around you might seem to be ahead of you, and some might seem behind you. But everyone is running their own race in their own time. Do not envy them. Do not mock them. They're in their time zone and you're in yours. Life is about waiting for the right time to act. So relax. You're not late. You're not early. You're very much on time. Thank you so much for this wonderful opportunity.
Thank you, sir, for your encouraging words. May I now invite C.A. Rupesh Rajagopal, Chairman, Ernakulam branch of SICASA of ICAI, to felicitate our speaker, C.A. Lijal Lakshman, with a memento as a token of our appreciation. Thank you, sir.